Sunset Boulevard. I woke up after.
It is Wednesday again, which means another episode of pACT. I've got great news. Last week, you guys all know, was kind of a difficult show for me. My father had ended up having quite a few strokes in the last week and a half. Pops is home. He's doing well. He wants to thank everybody for all the prayers, all the thoughts and everything. He's got a long road ahead of him. They were all minor strokes, which is good. He has to give up driving, but other than that, he's still alive. He's still got his dad jokes in tow, which is always great. Nothing better than a good old dad joke. I didn't think so until I became a dad and tell a lot of those stupid jokes myself. So at least my kids tell me they're stupid. I think they're funny. I can laugh at them for hours, but that's kind of the way we are. Hey, everybody, our quote of the week is "Be the attitude that you want to be around" by Tim DeTellis. I have no idea who Tim DeTellis is, but I love this quote. Quite often we find ourselves in a situation where, you've never heard anybody say, "Thank God this problem happened now instead of another time." Problems are problems. If your attitude is better through these problems, they're easier to take. I know that it's really hard to have a good attitude when somebody's like taking away everything you own and everything. But, if you have a lighter attitude, maybe it can come up a little bit easier. So just remember that. The quote of the week is "Be the attitude you want to be around." So if you want to be around a bunch of happy people, be happy. If you want to be around a bunch of mopey people, come to my house. Oh, wait, no, that's not what we want. So, and we have us a very full show today, and we're really excited about this. We've got joining us again, we've got Latoya Zavala. We've got new friends, Debbie from Debbie's MMA Closet. Carolyn, got it right, I hope. One of our brand new partners in the Community Pay It Forward fundraising program. She's with Pampered Chef, and we've got some exciting stuff we're going to be doing about that. Carolyn is actually going to help me tonight, and she doesn't even know this, because I just kind of popped this on her, but she's actually helping us tonight launch something else. Next week, we've got an exciting, to me, I think it's an exciting chance to where it doesn't matter if you make $20,000 a year or $200 million a year. You're going to be able to donate with every purchase you make to great causes. As we said on the commercial right before, like JR at the Veterans Ranch, like Brian with Project Die Hard, Hope Stock, everything. So, and as a matter of fact, when we announce this next week, every time you make a purchase from this, it's going to go to the VCP, which is the Veterans Community Project. Every time you make a purchase from this platform, it's going to stop veteran suicide, veteran homelessness, and it's going to help families get back to being families after the long, tedious service of one of their family members. And we're being joined by Renee, who I don't know a lot about her, but I'm excited to meet her. This was kind of one of those things that I heard a little bit about what she was all about yesterday, and it excites me because we love our authors. We're really trying to build quite a library, which is funny because I'm one of those guys that if I'm reading, I always have that voice in the back of my head that says, "You can be doing something else. Put it on audiobook and work." I don't know why, but I love audiobooks. I know that. I'm trying to learn how to read. I really am. So, but I love this. Renee is a 4-time best-selling author and transformational coach. So we're going to be able to tell a little bit more about that. I do want to tell you about Hope Stock. Hope Stock is a Project Die Hard event that is going to help build the FOBs, the forward operating bases. Why is this important? It's important because it's going to not only bring housing for homeless veterans, for veterans who have contemplated suicide, for veterans who have nowhere to go, but it's also going to facilitate 2 full families, which is something that no other program out there does. Hope Stock is going on July 29th, 30th, and 31st, and they need seven more platinum sponsors, $2,000. But here's the kicker. On the 29th, you will be streamed in front of 3 million people. That's the reach, is they're going to have a stream for 3 million people. So this is a chance for you to show your people that not only do you know what you do, but it shows where your heart is. And as we always say here on Community Pay It Forward, make sure that you put your business where your heart is. Brian's going to give you that chance. Get a hold of him at www.projectdiehard.org and reach out to him. And he's more than willing to take your donation to help them keep going. Sponsorship. And remember, every time that you sponsor anything to do with one of the projects that we support here, we're going to throw your quote or your name, your information right back behind me, because we support you if you support us. So it's a great cause. This is something that we need. I will not be there. I'm getting married on one of those days, so I couldn't make it a work wedding. She told me no. I tried. I didn't really try. I knew better than that. I'd be afraid of her. I'm not gonna get my butt kicked. So no. But hey guys, it's time to get on with the show. Like I said, we have a very, very good show today. I do want to again welcome in Sarah Goodall as a helper to our producer extraordinaire, Emily. We have a lot of things we're planning on doing with the pACT channel, including trying to get support from you out there to where we can take and hire people with disabilities to become producers of our shows. We're going to have producers and mixers and people help make the pACT channel something very important for people in the community. So please, if you would like to learn how to sponsor a show on the pACT channel, please get a hold of us at pACT at communitypayitforward.us. Once again, that's PACT, pACT at communitypayitforward.us. Well, here we go. We're going to get started. Our great guest, once again, I'd like to welcome back Latoya Zavala. Hello, sweetie.
Hi everybody.
I want to bring here from Deb's MMA. How are you doing, Deb?
Hey, good, thank you.
I want to bring in our newest partner to the Community Pay It Forward fundraising program. Hello, Carolyn.
Hello.
And new to our show, a brand new friend of mine, and I mean brand new friend. I've known her for about 32 seconds now. Hello, Renee. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much.
This is great. Ladies, we do encourage that you guys interact with each other, and please make sure that we ask questions of each other because I don't have all the answers in the world. I might not have a single answer. I definitely got plenty of questions, but I definitely don't have any answers. So, but we could definitely use your help if you all would like to help us out with this. So, Latoya, we're going to start with you. This is your second time joining the show, but your message, your work, everything that you do is so important that I like to bring it up because it is. You are, how do you call it? A life coach, an empowerment coach, or is it just kind of a hybrid of everything?
Oh man, it's an inner power coach. And that is what I live for. That's what I wake up for, that inner power. That's what it's about.
Well, that's great. Can you tell? Oh, and one other thing, Latoya is a veteran. She has served our country, and we thank her very much for that.
Yes, thank you.
The things
Thank
that we
you.
absolutely love, our veterans. We love all of our heroes, both country and community. So we want to Thank you very much for that. Latoya, can you please give us an idea on what you do, how you help people?
Yes, absolutely. Again, thank you for having me on your awesome, excuse me, your awesome show. It is wonderful what you do, and it's wonderful how you just bring people together. So I'm just very honored to be here. I'm an inner power coach, and my passion, my joy is to help specifically women who have been through some stuff, what I call ish, and they're still carrying some negativity. They're carrying some baggage from toxic relationships, and what I like to call toxic connections, right? Because it's not just an intimate relationship. So if there's been a toxic connection, whether it be with your partner or with your family or with a religion or with an organization, right, or with your boss, and you're still carrying some of that ish, right? Trash is what I call it, that you need to let go of, right? You're carrying it. I focus on the release. So I use powerful coaching. I use Reiki, and I also use EFT, which is tapping. So we can really get to the nervous system. We can really get to the subconscious and really release that ish from our bodies so that we can love ourselves, know ourselves, trust ourselves, believe in ourselves again. And then we can really, truly have that deeper connection with ourselves and with other people, and really just go ahead and manifest and move forward in their lives. But I tell people, because we're going for stuff, we're achieving, we're manifesting, but you can be and do so much more if we really take the time and love on ourselves in the way of releasing. So that's really my focus, is helping women release. I myself am a victim turned survivor turned thriver of domestic violence, sexual assault, and many forms of oppression and abuse. And so I really wanted to be a part of the solution on the non-clinical side. So what I do now, I did like in the Navy for my sailors and my Marines, hoo-yah and rah, for 10 years, and before that in the hospital. So it is truly my passion, the depth and the heart of what I do. You can tell, because I get fired up about it. But that's what I love to do. That's what I do.
You know, the last time that you were on with us, we had Healing Warriors, and we had we also had an organization on that helped caregiving, like parents go on vacations and stuff like that. Which, and the show was so well interacted, even though it was poorly put together, thanks to our friend StreamYard. They kind of locked us out for the first 15 minutes of the show, and then when they came on, I was a little shocked. So I'm like, oh wow, so we're live. It was really not quite the greatest way to get started.
But it was a great show.
Yeah, we learned so much on that show, and again, it was one of those shows that, you know, it. I am a pretty emotional guy, and there were a couple times that I was just like, you know, so, and I just love shows like that. We've had a lot of them lately. So, Latoya, you were mentioning something about you know, relationships, religions, and stuff like that. Do people do they talk themselves into a situation to where they don't notice at first that there's damage being done, and it takes a while for them to realize that they need the help? Is that the reason why there's so much pressure in stuff like a religion, and where, you know, and I'm not saying this about all religions, so don't not, you know, tie me to anything yet. But like, you know, is that the reason why sometimes people fall into cults and they don't understand that they're, you know, basically possessed until it's too late?
So that's an awesome question, Zach. It's one that I actually love to study. I know it's probably weird, but I actually study this in my free time. Both my degrees are in theology, so it is something that's near and dear to my heart. Both my bachelor's and my master's. And it's really actually complex, right? It's really layered, and it's not the same for every person as to why they get sucked in. You know, you can think of it in the same way when we talk about why does a person join gangs. You can think of it in the same way as sometimes why people join the military, right? Looking for something that was missing, a camaraderie, an acceptance, a specialness, right? And so they find it in some of these groups. There's psychology behind it as well. There's, people are dealing with different traumas, personal traumas in their lives that they're looking for healing. But there's also sometimes indoctrination that comes from other places, traditions, cultures, family traditions and expectations, right? You heard of the Pygmalion effect, where we tend to rise and fall to the expectations set for us. So it really can be so very layered and complex for each person. But there's one thing that came up repeatedly when I was when I was interviewing people to tell their stories on my podcast. And one thing that came up repeatedly is sometimes you come into the place where you start to realize, I'm in trouble, right? This is not where I need, this is not good. This is toxic. You come to this place, but there's something in lots of women that I've interviewed that we call hope. And it's a survival mechanism almost. There's a hope against all hope, that I feel something strange. I feel something's wrong. I feel something's toxic, but I hope that it isn't so. I hope that maybe me being here can help change it. I hope that they will wake up and they'll change. Maybe, if I show them, or if I do the right things, or if I'm kinder, if I'm nicer, or if I tell them the truth, or, there's this hope against all hope that kind of keeps them there for a while. It's one of the things, and again, it's complex and it's different for people, but that is one of the things that came up repeatedly with a lot of women that I interviewed, that came out of these toxic connections. And it's a really interesting point, because we've got to recognize that part of our humanity, right? Recognize it. Don't villainize it, recognize it, love it, and accept it. But then again, and then create healthy boundaries around it and really connect with, try to balance the intuition and the inner knowing that's happening. I hope I answered that, but
yeah,
it's a lot.
Yeah. And let me, Debbie, let's bring you in right now, and let's talk a little bit about what you're doing, because you are using, the name of your foundation is Debbie's, can you?
Deb's, yeah, it's Deb's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Deb's MMA Closet, there we go,
Right.
.com.
Yeah.
Can you explain to us a little bit about how you're using one of the fastest growing sports in the world,
In Florida too.
the oldest sports in the world, to help people in situations?
Well, I've been in the sport for like over 20 years now.
Okay.
Okay. Over 20 years, and I've been going to shows and supporting all the fighters all over Florida and beyond, actually. And I want to do more. So I started a nonprofit, and now I give, I actually got my first equipment, like MMA gear. Well, actually, it's boxing gear. Mm-hmm. Somebody sent me 2 pairs of boxing shoes, shirts, shin guards, hand wraps, and all that stuff that somebody might need. So I'm giving somebody, I'm passing it around, I'm giving somebody who can't afford it, or wants to get into it and needs gloves or whatever. So yeah, I'm a giver. I want to give kids and adults and young adults the chance to do the sport, because it is really booming in Florida. So yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a very, very popular sport in the area that we're in Colorado. As a matter of fact, we've worked with many MMA fighters and boxers. Mario, one of my dearest friends, I used to watch this kid walk around all the time doing the shadow boxing and stuff like that. And it was, the first time you see it, you're kind of like going, "Is he having a spasm?" You know, when you don't understand it. But then when you get to talk to some of these kids, you realize this is something that it's not. I mean, this is about one of those sports that really takes and attaches to them and talks to them emotionally, because
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of people talk about how, oh, it's violence, violence, violence.
No,
No,
it's not.
no, it's
No.
really not. It's
Mm-mm.
competition and it's body control. There's so much to MMA. What was the one thing? What's one thing about MMA that you think everybody should be able to experience? Other than
Oh.
pummeled in the face every once in a while, you know. I mean, we all enjoy that.
No. I know it looks violent because, I've seen my first knockout, I freaked out because he fell over like a feather. The guy hit him and the guy fell over like a feather and didn't get up for a few minutes. But no, I mean, I love everything about it. And it's just my passion. I mean, it's not just the sport. It's the people. It's the whole MMA community. I mean, what they do for me and what, I go to these shows, and it's not just for the fights. It's for the people. The people are so respectful and very nice to me. They even, 3 people even bought me my first UFC ticket. I get in the cage, take pictures with the fighters. I got them all over my house. There's one back here. They gave me that big thing when they were done with the show. I said, "Can I have that?" And they go, "Go ahead, take it home." I got banners, posters, you name it, I've got it. I even got an award for a fan of the year.
Wow.
In 2018. So yeah, I love the sport. I have a lot of passion for the people and the sport. So I want to help more.
You know what, Debbie? Can I say something?
Of course.
Really, I personally, as a veteran, I'm very grateful for what you do.
Thank you.
I didn't realize. Well, let me just say this: when I was in as a chaplain, I had several Marines, right, as you can imagine, that were into MMA, right, as you can imagine. But it was such a release for them. And it's interesting because it's not, you do combat fighting training in the Marine Corps, but it was different for them. And like you said, it provided a different community, a way to tap into that part of themselves, away from the rigid structure of the military, right? And I'll tell you, I had a few Marines that, were getting into trouble in the military, getting their non-judicial punishments, their NJPs and stuff like that. And that was for them a way to release the stress, a way to connect to themselves again, and it was so important for a lot of Marines that I was working with that even sometimes I found myself kind of advocating for them. Okay, I know they're on punishment. I know they're on lockdown. Can they go to their MMA training? Because it's better for you and us and everybody here if you let them go to their training, right? And so
get some release.
A lot of them were, lower ranking and stuff like that. And so I never even thought that there would be something like Deb's MMA closet. You know what I mean? So I'm very grateful, and I think
thank you.
I can't watch it myself. I don't watch MMA or boxing.
I know none of my family likes it. I'm the only one.
But I know how important it is for people. So I'm grateful for you and what you do.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I love what you do too. Get to the mind, Get to your mind.
It's actually right there. It's a good tie-in because, you guys could both work together and find ways to just help so many. I mean, it's just when you look at it, it's just both of them are a way to train your mind and do something with your mind that's a little bit healthier. Hey, Deb, what are some of the things? And we always say we know that money ruins the world. I'm sorry, ruins the world.
Yeah.
other than money, what are something that our audience and our people here can help Deb's MMA closet acquire?
Just like I got that big box today, and I took out each piece I got my big ring light out and put my phone in the middle and made a video for the guy that gave it to me, the fighter that gave all that stuff to me, and I put it in my closet. I actually have a Deb's MMA closet in my house. I cleaned it out, and it's just for the stuff I get. Free gym memberships. Some gyms are helping me with free gym memberships so they could, so they could go and train at the gym. And sponsorships and, just anything really, shirts, shorts, anything that they would need to get started so they could go train and get into the sport. So.
And Deb, what area of Florida are you in?
I'm in Boca Raton, Florida.
Okay, Boca Raton. All right, that's great. So, yeah, if anybody knows anybody in Boca Raton that wants to help Deb with gym memberships, maybe we can work together and find a way to get some sponsors to help her shape the lives of kids, because it's like I said, MMA, it was a lot different for me when I actually went to the training, and I was watching little kids that, the only thing that I've ever seen kids this age interested in were video games. But I mean, these kids were in there. I saw this one little guy with abs that just made me want to hit him, but I realized he was like 9,
right?
It changes lives, I'm telling you, it really does. It changed mine. Look, I don't even do the sport, and I was in a wheelchair for 10 years. And this year it will be 3 years on October 1st that I'm still walking. I got out of the wheelchair.
Congratulations
Thank you.
That. That is
Thank you.
absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
But so Deb, we're going to keep bringing you on. We're going to keep the conversation going, and we're going to figure out how we can help you a little more. Carol stepped away, so we're going to bring up Renee now, our award-winning author, huh?
Yay! Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I want to thank Latoya for your service. Thank you so much for your service, Latoya. Really an honor to be with you today. And Zach for having me, and Sarah for messaging me to come back on the show today. Really grateful to be here.
Hey, we are just thrilled to have you and help you promote everything that you've got going on. What and obviously this is a question of ignorance, but could you tell us about your books? Because I like I said, didn't have a lot of time to study, but
that's okay. That's what we're here. It's about their voice, and that's what I'm all about, is sharing our voice. I'm a women's Latoya, I'm a women's empowerment and transformational coach, and I take them through the process of finding their voice. And it's about the solution that I focus on, not the problem. We obviously need to know I don't even want to say problem. I don't like to use the word problem because that's something that's not right. And obviously we're here to go through that, but it's the solution and it's an opportunity. Rather than calling it a problem, it's an opportunity. And we all have opportunities in life. So I focus on what the solution to the opportunity is. And I have a book called Finding Your Voice, Unlock Your Chains and Unleash Your Greatness. I love to get that into schools and universities, into women's groups. So if you know of any way to do that, I'd love to connect with Oprah about that, because I know she's got her girls in South Africa and she's got this book club. So I've been following her for many, many years. I also believe that this would serve them and her community, because it's about expressing your voice. I know Oprah specifically, as a young girl, different things that took place in her life that she wasn't able to, and the things she has come through and now serving others. And that's what I'm here to do, is serve and support. I physically lost my voice in 2013, and doctors didn't know if I'd ever be able to speak again. So I can relate all too well with what that feeling is on the physical sense, the emotional sense, and the spiritual sense. And it's in every which way. I wasn't able to get out. I wish I could have unzipped my skin and flown away, because I was in so much pain. I fell into a deep depression. And I was literally locked away within my four walls of a hell, and with no answers from Western medicine to, we'll do this regimen, we'll do that. They drew close to 20 vials of blood in 3.5, close to 4 months, and had no answer. They were trying to peel back the layers of the onion and to find out what is wrong. and they couldn't find different things that they tested me for. They couldn't find anything that was the cause of the sores that riddled my vocal cords. And that pain was so intense. So what I know, not focusing on the pain, but the solution, it was when God, source, universe, whatever you believe in, there's a greater power than us. And if it wasn't for the love of my best friend who's now in heaven, I don't believe I'd be here today. Her being placed in my life. And I just know that now I am a vessel with a voice to serve and support other women to go through what they've gone through. We grow through what we go through, I say a lot. And it's true because I've grown so much. And I created like the book. I have this. And now, as I said, it's a 4 times #1 bestseller. And in it, what I did is I have takeaway sections because we don't give ourselves credit, especially as women, for how far we've come. We only say what's wrong. We didn't do this. We didn't do that. And I have like 3 to 4 line pages. I leave questions after each chapter because I didn't want to write a book about me and poor you and what you went through. And oh my gosh, it's not about me. The only part that's about me is that I am now called to serve in a greater way. As that person, that vessel with a voice to serve, support, and guide as a mentor, women around this world in finding their voice physically, mentally, and emotionally with the solution and not focusing on the problem. Business and life, it's personal and professional because as you know, the way we do one thing is the way we do most everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I come from a corporate background and that's where that took place. I believe the physical loss of my voice manifested from the metaphoric loss of my voice in life. I see Latoya shaking her head like, yeah, I get it. Totally. Not feeling enough, people pleasing, fear of judgment, low self-esteem, low self-worth, all of those things. I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off, taking care of multi-million-dollar departments and teams, but never taking care of me. And that saying, you can't pour from an empty cup, mine was cracked into a million pieces. And until I was taken out of life, I would have kept going. I was going into the ground is where I was headed.
There are times that when we, and I understand exactly what you just said, because there are times when I put together like fundraising events or something, I'll put everything into it to try to make it perfect. And then due to my TBI and the injuries that I suffered after the accident, I'm useless for weeks afterwards, just because, it takes and it completely drains me. And it always my worst critic. So, and we could raise $50 million and I'd still look at it as, well, what did I do wrong? How come we didn't raise 51 million? So those things.
Zach, I want to show you something. If you saw me looking down for a minute, there's a reason. I was trying to find which chapter it was.
Yep, I love that. So
and absolutely. So that's what it is. I always wanted to be just perfect, just everything just right. And that's not what life is. We're not perfect. And it's knowing that that's okay. And to move forward in that face of adversity, face of whatever it is that's going on in your life. And to just move forward and to surround yourself with the right people. I say like-hearted, not like-minded people into your community.
Yeah. Who exactly do you really want to? Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. I got my water.
Yeah. Who would be the most important person to get your book in your mind?
I would say female entrepreneurs, business women, to people that are looking for ways to truly find their voice in business and in life, that they feel like it's been taken away. It's also for women who are maybe in these relationships that could be like narcissistic relationships.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I mean, look, and we were having, Carolyn was having some technical difficulties with her camera. So she's backed off. We'll see if she's able to come back on. If she's not, we're going to be talking about her here in a little bit anyway, just because we've got some very exciting news coming up with what we do.
And also, Jack, one moment, I wanted to speak to LaToya for one moment because I really believe there's a synergy here. And the fact that I was asked to come back on and you work with women and I work with women, there may be something here. So I would love to connect with you.
I would love to connect with you too, Renee, because first I wanted to say thank you for sharing your story. I think your story is amazing. I think your story is super powerful. Just as you were speaking, it reminded me of Maya Angelou, and I know your stories are completely different, but the power of her story when the trauma, it didn't take her voice, but she chose to go silent. And that was part of her way of cleansing and doing her inner work. And then what so powerfully came out after, right? After that. And I love that she says, and once I started speaking, I never stopped. And our world is so much better because she never stopped, right? What she gave to the world. So I am so grateful for your story and how we're called, well, the term that was coined, right? Wounded healers, when you were wounded in that specific way, and now you're able to heal from that very same place. There's just a deeper inner knowing that can't be there without that. But you said there's that synergy, and so exactly what you were saying was confirmation for me today about a new project that I'm working on. And I was like, okay, Universe Divine, that's why I'm here.
Yes. And I saw Brian posted, thank you so much, LaToya. Let's make sure we connect. And I saw Brian posted about getting the books in his library. I would love to connect with you, Brian. I don't see your information. If there's a way to make that happen.
I'll gladly give you the stuff for Brian. Brian is the individual who we're working with on the forward operating basis, the one that takes care of the homeless vets and does the program with the families. So
this would be great for them. This would be great. Finding a voice as a veteran, I'm very connected with veterans as well. So there's that too. So that would be amazing.
One thing that LaToya can definitely point out is that female veterans, they have such a different road, and along with all the things when it comes to just end of life decisions, a lot of times the female veterans have even more piled on top of that. I don't want to put anybody's situation light, because it's not. But we know that, just in something that for so many years was so male dominated, I know that the women are still trying to, find their
voice
in there. Find their voice. There you go. So, but ladies, we're going to introduce our last guest, and then we're going to just have kind of a round table where we're going to all participate and maybe even dance. I'm joking. So, but my next guest I am so proud to introduce her, Carolyn. She is our newest partner and with Pampered Chef. And now through the end of May, correct? We're going to have a special that up to 30% of whatever you purchase from our event that's going to be launched here in the next day or two, correct? Up to 30% of that can go as a donation towards somebody who has asked us for help. That is so fantastic. And you were introduced to me through a great friend of mine, Trevor. Please don't tell him I said he's a great friend. that guy's, he's ridiculous as it is with that whole British accent and stuff like that. But no, he really is a great guy. But you were excited when you heard about what we did, and getting you involved in what we do was one of the first things that, I wanted to get this done. Explain to people exactly what Pampered Chef is, please.
So Pampered Chef is a direct sales company, and we supply or sell products for making cooking easier, hence the whole pampered part. If I had to ask, who's heard of Pampered Chef? Normally, I usually get a hand raise. because we've been around 41 years, getting close to 42 years. And Doris Christopher started this out of her basement because she wanted to help families get around the table again. And so we even have logos like join us at the table and all this stuff. And it's all about taking the mystery away from cooking, making it easier, faster, healthier. And ultimately, what I would love to see is everyone get their family to sit around that table one more day a week than they are now. And Zach, you and I talked about it. That's been a huge thing. That's how I grew up. That's what I did with my family. And when my son was a senior and our lives were getting busy, he said, "Mom, we haven't had our dinner together all week. Can we make sure we do that tonight or tomorrow night or whatever it was?" And I don't know how many senior, 18-year-old boys come to their mom and say, "We need to eat dinner together." And that made this mom heart happy, but I know how important that's been for our family. So that's one of my key elements, but that all starts with knowing how to cook, how to make it in 30 minutes or less, and how to make it healthy, because eating out all the time is terrible for us anyway. And, I'm really big on the whole taking care of ourselves, and it's a whole body thing. You can take care of your mind and your spirit, but you've got to take care of your body, and what you feed it makes a difference. So I'm kind of just in there helping that. But we have an awesome opportunity. Most people don't realize Pampered Chef also can do fundraisers. And when you purchase products, then it's directly going to turn around and Pampered Chef will send a check to that organization. So we're going to work with you, Zach, and we're going to do this for your organization. And we've never had the opportunity to do 30%. Yeah. And they're doubling their donation through the month of May, and that is amazing. But that doesn't mean doesn't stop at that point. But we've just got to really capitalize on this awesome opportunity. We don't mark up our products when we do a Pampered Chef fundraiser. It's the same price you'd pay anywhere else, so you can't beat that deal.
You and I are talking about as many people who know about this right now. We're bringing Brian's in our gallery, and one of the things that we're doing is we're working with Hope Wines right now, and through the month of April, we've got two codes, for one for Hope Wines and one for the Avery Center, which deals with the life after trafficking. And you and I are talking about doing a podcast, something similar to where you can introduce the great things that Pampered Chef does, and how we can really take and support people. We can be that person that takes and introduces people, because there's nothing wrong with asking for help. But if you're asking an empty ear, if you're asking an empty screen, it doesn't do you any good. Community Pay It Forward really wants to be that person who can say, hey, you know what? We may talk to 5 people today, but those 5 people we're talking today, it's like telling 50 people. Because, if your story touches the heart of somebody, the story that Deb's got right now with her MMA, if we can tell people why she started this bridge and using MMA, why she created that bridge to overcome pitfalls, then we're storytelling, we're telling great success stories, and we're able to get people more interested in what's going on. And I cannot wait until you and I get a little bit further into this. One of the other things that you have done is you're going to give us a direct link to where with our store. And this is where I get to utilize your wonderful generosity to announce something. Community Pay It Forward now has a fundraising store where we've got wonderful products like Pampered Chef, InPhone, and great. And I don't know if any of you ladies have ever seen, they're called Detox. They are palm leaf edible like plates. They replace paper plates. You can wash them off a couple times and throw them into your garden as compost.
Wow.
Our website.
I love that.
And if you purchase them from us, I mean, let's put it this way: it makes your barbecue, it gives your barbecue that little bit of extra class. And the greatest thing about it is that Pandy, when she does this, the women of India are the ones who go and prepare these plates. It's the female culture in India that she's empowering to do this. So yeah, I cannot wait to show you guys more of that. But yeah, please do check it out on our website.
Zach, I've used them when we were in Singapore, and they're amazing. And you're right; it just gives. First of all, it gives a different ambiance, right, a different energy to it. But it does give a certain kind of flavor to the food. It's amazing. It's amazing. And so I need some in my life.
This right here is just an example of like one of the, this is for like a chili dog or something, but it's just, it's really thin, and it's just a palm leaf. You can wash it off and use it a couple times, and then you throw it in the garden, and it's compost. Yeah. There's no plastics, no nothing. It's just palm leaf. It's a fantastic.
They're amazing. So if I can have some of that and some more Pampered Chef in my life, I'm good. I'm amazing. I'm gonna tell you. So let me just say to your viewers, I don't know if you've used Pampered Chef before. I don't know, Renee or Debbie, if you've used Pampered Chef before, but Pampered Chef is the truth. Let me tell you right now.
Do they have vegan? Does she have vegan stuff?
So let me say, I was vegetarian / going towards vegan for, how old am I now? I'm 44. So about 30, that's not right. About 28 years. And when I had my first son, I sold Pampered Chef. Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. I sold Pampered Chef because I quit my job and I wanted to be home with my son. And so I sold Pampered Chef. And I was vegetarian. And I was like, okay, so what am I gonna do with this burger salad that I'm supposed to make these people? And I used Morningstar crumbles. I'm not an affiliate, right? But I used Morningstar crumbles as a substitute for that particular recipe. And I learned how to do some of the stuff. Now they do have some meatless stuff, but I did do the substitution, and it worked just as well. I still use some of those recipes even now, right? My son is going to be 14 this year.
Oh, okay.
But I loved the products. I loved doing the shows. I loved creating that community. I loved the freedom of doing the substitution and bringing newness to people's lives. But what I want to say is the quality. I was selling it because I wanted to be home, and it was fun, and it was something to do. But as I added children, and we were military family, and we were moving, and we were all over the place, the quality of my Pampered Chef stuff, and even my husband at the time was like, okay, LaToya, another Pampered Chef stuff. But even now he's like, where's the Pampered Chef whisk? Because because the quality is amazing. So like I said, let me get some of those the leaf papers and then some Pampered Chef stuff in my life. It sounds like your store, Zach, is going to be full of like quality-ish that we need to be a part of.
Yep. And again, the greatest part about it, as you're hearing right now, the greatest part about it, we're giving back with every time you purchase. There's you get to choose who you want to support. And hopefully here before too long, you will see Deb's MMA closet on there that you can help support them. And maybe we can help try to push some books here pretty soon as well. This is one of those things where there's so much synergy in this show that, for a show that was we had 2 cancellations today, and I was struggling to try to find people to put together. It's amazing how well this show went together because you've got mind, body, and soul literally right here in this. Everything that we need for healthy living is right here on this show, and I think it's fantastic. What's like the latest thing that you have for sale on Pampered Chef?
I think the biggest thing is that people who haven't seen Pampered Chef in a while don't realize we now have electronics. So we aren't just choppers and scrapers and the basic cookware. We now, in addition to having nonstick cookware, stainless cookware, we have cast iron, we have enameled cast iron, which I just have really started using because I drug my feet on that and it's amazing. But we also have an air fryer. We have
Yay.
we have a cordless mixer.
I use my air fryer all the time.
And ours, the whole standard Pampered Chef uses is how can we take what's on the market and make it better and make it more useful. Our air fryer air fries, bakes, rotisseries, roasts, dehydrates. So, I mean, you get to do all of that in your air fryer. So it's not just one thing. Well, we have a brand new multi-cooker, which we replaced our pressure cooker. Many people know the term Instant Pot, but we have a pressure cooker. But in addition to pressure cooking, you can slow cook and you can sous vide. And that is like a whole new level. I even grabbed these. We even added silicone reusable. These are storage bags.
Oh, those are great.
So you can reuse them and they zip. But guess what? They work in sous vide, right? So you don't have to throw away plastic or cook in plastic. So Pampered Chef is always looking at how they can take something and, first of all, solve a challenge in the kitchen. Because that's their first criteria. But second is how can we do it better than the average thing on the market, and use it for more than one thing. I use these, send my kids lunch to school so he's not throwing away baggies. But then also, you know, I'm all about healthy eating, but I'm about fast. Okay, so I could grill up some chicken in the grill pan really quick, which is what we're gonna do tonight. I'm gonna throw in the fresh pineapple that I cut up yesterday with our pineapple wedger and make some Hawaiian chicken. Well, frozen vegetables in your freezer are the healthy way to have things that aren't going to go bad. Because, you know, our lives get crazy and what you have planned changes. But if you have vegetables in the freezer, they're not going to go bad on you, right? So you can put them in one of these and put it in the microwave, which when you cook it in the microwave, you don't lose as many nutrients. So then you quickly have the fresh vegetables, throw the meat on your plate that you just grilled up in 10 minutes or less on the grill pan, and throw a salad together and you're done. And dinner's on the table.
Well, all I know is that you just said the key word. You said pineapple, and I pretty much will do anything with pineapple. I am a pineapple freak. Matter of fact, I ate so much pineapple the other day that I made myself sick. And it was like, I didn't care. I couldn't stop. You know, it was one of those things. So I am that nerd. You're going to get sick. So for me, how can I get sick? So,
I went live yesterday on my Facebook page because we have the pineapple wedger. So in one scoop, you can core it and then and peels all at the same time. But it comes out and you pull the core out the same exact size as our apple wedger. So then you go back with the apple wedger and you now have the spears of pineapple. Chop, 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 chop. And you have chopped pineapple in like minutes. And it's so easy. Great. And it keeps you from buying the canned or the very expensive pre-packaged stuff in the produce because you can do it yourself. Pineapple's not expensive.
No.
It's the process that they like to charge a lot for.
You know, like I said, this is just, it amazes me that this show went together. And I really do want to, you know, I want to thank everybody for being on. I especially want to thank you, Carolyn, because I did just call you minutes ago. I also want to thank you, Renee, because you were a really quick addition. So, ladies, we have about 36 more minutes of this show left, and I'd kind of like to allow you guys to maybe talk to each other a little bit, and let's discuss some of the things that maybe we could work on together. I don't know if any of you guys would have a great suggestion for that, but I don't see how something that comes together like this, there couldn't be something that we can do together because, you know, like I said, this is one of those things where mind, body, and soul is taken right here. You know, we've got training, we've got food, we've got a mindful coach, we've got inspirations. So
I agree. Go ahead. No, I agree.
That's all right.
Go ahead, Debbie. I don't want to cut anybody off. It's about the voices.
I didn't want to either. No, I just want everybody's information so I can get you out there on Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. I know so many people, you never know. Women fighters may need you guys.
Yeah, it's absolutely sharing our voices together. This didn't come together by accident. I was literally on another call when I saw Sarah's message on LinkedIn. I'm like, I gotta go. They're waiting for me. And it was like in the moment. And so absolutely just a thrill to be here and to, know I'm surrounded by some other great women here. It's about lifting each other's voices, sharing our voices. I say all the time that I believe in giving a hand up, not a hand out.
Yeah.
Lifting others and helping each other rise is helping, the greater good. And that's what it's about. And in lifting our voices, we're lifting the voices of others.
Yeah, see, we started this company because we feel like everything you do in a day, if you have it set in your mind that you can not only help yourself, but you can help somebody else, it makes it so much more important, and one of the real things that we've really started taking and turning towards are those stories. Like I was talking about with Deb, why she created Deb's Closet, MMA Closet, because if we tell the stories, there's something in your story, no matter how many times you feel like you've said it. You got to continue to tell your story, what you went through, because there's somebody that's going to hear one specific word in your story and it can change their lives. And people poo-poo me on that quite often, and I'm like going, laugh if you want. It's true.
You know what I said? Sorry about that, Zach.
No.
You know what I said every day while I was trying to get out of my wheelchair, my walker, my cane? I can, I will, I must. And I still do to this day. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah, Debbie. Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely,
That's awesome.
Debbie.
That's awesome.
Deb, what had you in the wheelchair?
No, it's okay. A car accident. I had nerve damage all over my body. I still have it. It's not going to go away. It hurts. I hurt, but I still keep walking. I keep going. It was awesome to walk in instead of driving to the shows, the MMA shows, to walk into my first show and walk to my seat. That was amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, I have a lot of I have one kidney. It's all nerve, basically. It's all my extremities. My arms hurt all the time. My hands, I drop things. I have to have plastic stuff. Because I can't have glass stuff, so because I will drop it, and it goes in my legs and my lower back and my feet. So,
but Debbie, I'm going to interject here if I may. The whole time when you spoke, until Zach asked you, because you didn't focus on the problem, as we were talking about earlier. I don't say opportunity. That's what I call it. Is the solution, and that's why I take women through that journey of finding their voice. It's about the solution. If we, what we focus on expands. If we always focus on what I can't do this, I can't do that. When I was talking to somebody yesterday, it was about her disability when I was on this show. And I said, it's not a disability. Don't say you have a disability, because when you say you have it, you're owning that as labeling yourself with that. And because we can't all do everything, right? We don't always know. Everybody doesn't know how to do everything. Does that mean we say I have a disability because I don't know how to do this? No, I don't say that. I'm like, let me learn. Let me see what I can do. Since I'm not adept, right? I may not be adept at one thing, so let me see if I can do something else. Or you're focusing on what your strength is, not as much as what your weakness is, and where you're strong. You can use, maximize your opportunity and maximize your strength to help with your opportunity is what I want to say. So that's a big part of it. And the more you focus on the things you can do, the more that's going to expand.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies, we got to take like a really quick 25-second break. This is about the wine event that we have going on right now. We ask you to please join us as we team up with Hope Wines and through the month of April, and in support of Project Die Hard and the Avery Center. There are a couple QR codes on here. So right now I ask you to please pull out your phone and get ready, because if you order any wines through the end of this month from Hope Wines, you can donate to one or, hey, 2 bottles of wine. Why not? Give one away and donate to both of these great causes. This is once again brought to you by Community Pay It Forward and Hope Wines. That was painless. I'm trying to do this whole commercial thing. We're definitely looking for sponsors because we really do. We want to um, offer opportunities to people, disabled veterans, disabled citizens, uh, and differently challenged. We'll put it that way. Individuals, give them a chance to learn how to take and direct a podcast like what we're doing, and really take and learn a little bit more. And we want to try to give them an opportunity to do this, make a little bit of extra money, and build up themselves and help us become here at the pACT channel. We want to make it very special. So that's the reason why I love having you ladies on, is because you guys are the similar way. Renee, you have won 4 different awards, correct?
I've had different recognitions along the way. The book became a 4 times #1 bestseller. That's where you got the number 4 from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I think that's what you were referring to. I have different awards in my bio that I've been honored and just grateful to have received. Women Appreciating Women. It was an honorary global award that I received, and just different things along the way. Because I started as a speaker and a mentor at Women Helping Women pre-pandemic, where I was, coaching and training and mentoring others that feel like they have lost their voice in some way. And I continue to do that in my own position right now as an entrepreneur and serving women around the world. So no matter what time zone you're in, if you're watching this and you feel that in some way, shape, or form you have lost your voice, and then this is what I do. This is why I created the Voice Blueprint that takes women from vulnerability to empowerment. And I didn't realize it when I was going through it myself, that was part of my journey when I had lost my voice, when I had the sores all over my vocal cords and didn't have any help from Western medicine. It was about being silent and just kind of going within. What I do is really, it's based on the butterfly effect. I call it the butterfly effect, because if you think about it, we start out crawling in life like a caterpillar's crawling. Then it goes into this ooey gooey mucky chrysalis stage of trying to figure stuff out, only to emerge and spread its wings and fly as a beautiful butterfly that it really was meant to be all along. But it had to go through these uncomfortable stages. And I didn't realize that was my own journey of going through what I went through, but to also grow through it and now be that vessel to serve others in the same light.
Let me ask all of you ladies.
That's amazing.
No, I'm gonna.
Thank you, Debbie.
I'm
You're
gonna start
welcome.
with you on this. We all know that we've made decisions in our past that we're not proud of. Are there such things as mistakes, or is it just a learning lesson?
I think it's all about the journey. And if we don't make mistakes, we don't learn.
Right.
The most impactful learning opportunities are the ones that are mistakes, because you won't forget those nearly as much. And I believe that you watch your kids and they learn. If you watch them from really little to growing up, they learn each thing along the way based on, okay, if I'm learning to walk and I do it this way, this isn't going to work. But if I do it this way, it does work. And we all kind of need to take that attitude along the way and not beat ourselves up for the mistakes. I use a life coach. I feel very strongly about having someone in your life like that. And she has a saying, it's not failure, it's feedback.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to take that with everything you do, that I'm not a failure. It's not a failure. I didn't fail. I just learned something. And I'm going to take this information and I'm going to take it and change it and try it from another angle. And I think that's the best thing we could do for our lives. And it also keeps you out of that spiral where you start spiraling into that negativity if you keep yourself out of thinking things as mistakes or failure or whatever. And you just look for the positive side of it. What did you learn? What can I do different? How can I help others? A lot of times our challenges that we go through or our mistakes prepare us for something we will hit later, and we can reach somebody else because we've already been there. You don't know who you're going to hit next in your life, that what your story, like you were saying earlier,
Yep.
or your mistake or your challenge is going to speak to somebody else. And now you're able to be on their side and partner with them to step through that next challenge.
That's interesting. It's interesting you say that, Karen. It's so true. And I was speaking yesterday, and I was a psychology major. I have a Bachelor of Arts and Sciences in psychology. Thank you for putting the link tree up there.
Yeah.
And with all the training and learning and papers and exams I took to get that psychology degree, nothing prepared me for what the life I was going into years later after college and getting that degree was going to do. There's no degree, no paper, nothing I did, as I said, was to prepare me for that. Because those were you could take an exam, you could take a test, you could write a paper. But until you go through an experience, and I wouldn't wish this on anybody, because as I said, the pain was, I quite frankly didn't want to survive it. I'm just being, I'm very real and raw, because I want to let people know it wasn't something that I skated through by any stretch. And I didn't even want to live through it because it was so great. And when you have no answers, month 1, month 2, month 3, there's like no answers from anything or anybody that could help you. I really was ready to throw in the towel, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't have anything to even hold on to. But somewhere there must have been the strong faith inside of me. And my best friend, I keep referring back to her, because when someone believes in you so strongly and is there for you, you talk about a life coach, then that's what you need, is to have that. And it's not a weakness, it's a strength. It's not giving up or giving in. It's saying, I am ready for the support. I talk about the uncomfortable comfort zone. We get stuck in things that we know because it's familiar. The unfamiliar, what if I fail? What if I don't succeed? What if this, what if, one of my other chapters is called Failing Forward. And to your point, it's not failure, it's feedback. It's how we learn the lessons along the way of our journey, and what did it teach us? And that's what we can use the experience to serve and to support others, so they don't go through the same thing we did. Everyone's on a different journey, but if to be there as a support system, that's huge. That just means so much. I'm going to share something. I didn't anticipate this at all, but I'm going to share this because I think I just felt called to. I have one picture of my best friend. I'm not going to show it because I always felt like I wanted to protect her. On one side of my computer, the other side, I don't need to read this because I know it by heart, but I'm going to show you. It's the verse from Celine Dion's song, Because You Love Me. And it's, you were my strength when I was weak. You were my voice when I couldn't speak. You were my eyes when I couldn't see. You saw the best there was in me. Lifted me up when I couldn't reach. You gave me faith because you believed. I'm everything I am because you love me. Having somebody's love and faith and belief in you sometimes is what we need to lift ourselves up.
Well, you're inspiring.
Yeah, for sure. It reminds me, I think, Sarah, what you were saying, it reminded me of a quote that I put up a while ago that Nelson Mandela, he said, I never lose. I either win or I learn. Right. And so, and at the same time, because I've been studying this idea of failure for a while too, right? At the same time, I was watching Kobe Bryant. I was watching a lot of his videos, and the interviewer asked the same question that you asked, Zach, and he was like, "What is failure? Failure doesn't even exist. It doesn't even exist. Failure is a nonsensical thing." Like, he was like, "What is failure? You fell, okay, you get up, and then you keep going." And he's like, "You didn't make the shot? Okay, you take the ball and you shoot again." He's like, "There's no such thing as failure. That's a made up word that we made up in our minds. We don't fail. We missed or we fell or whatever, and we keep going in life." And so it really is, Zach, a mindset shift. It really is. And so one of the C's that I teach in my 7 C's is this idea of conviction, and that this made up word, this failure, right, actually is our birthright. It's our birthright to fall, right? Because to Sarah's point, when a baby falls, they're not like, "Oh man, I guess I'll never make it in life. I'm never going to, they're like, oh, okay. All right. So next time I got to balance. Next time I got to, okay. And they fall and they fall and they fall and they fall and they fall. But the conviction is there. They don't think, oh man, I'm never gonna. No, right there. Okay, next time, next time, next time, next time. There's no idea of failure. You know what I mean? So that's what I teach, to get back to yourself. That self that knows that they know that they know there's no such thing as failure. We got to get back to that self, right? So I read an interesting article. It was super interesting to me. She's in South Africa, and she started this movement of, tell me if you've heard of it, ladies. She started this movement of failure cafes, where instead of getting together and talking about your achievements and your successes, that successful people would get together and talk about where they fell, where they failed, what the mistakes were. They would expose it. They would talk about it. They would laugh about it. They would say what they learned about it. They would say how they grew from it, right? So that you could normalize it and not have this fear of failure that we've created that causes so much depression and anxiety and illnesses in our bodies, in our minds, and everywhere else, right? And so it's a mindset shift, right? And last thing I want to say about this, because I've been studying it for a while. Elon Musk did an interview, and they asked him, how did you know that, the electric car was going to work? How did you know that, the fourth try of the rocket was going to work? He goes, oh, when I was starting Tesla, I thought 85% this is going to fail. This is not going to work. He said, but when you're moving in your purpose, he didn't use the word calling, but when you're moving, when you're so convicted that this is what I'm here on this earth to do, when you know for certain that this is important, then there's no such thing as failure. He's like, I didn't think it was going to work, but I knew that this kind of work needed to be done, and I wanted to be a part of it. So all these things, right? I think it's layered, but this mindset shifting of this idea of failure, this idea of mistakes.
I want to take that and kind of twist it a little bit too, because we talked about belief. Mm-hmm. And we spend a lot of time. I'm so blessed because Pampered Chef for consultants, we do a lot of training. They offer so much. So I feel very blessed to be in something that builds me up along the way, which is one of the reasons I do it, because, Lord knows when the socks get put in the drawer, they're not celebrating, and no one in the house is celebrating when they get in the right place. So recognition is big. But we talk about belief, and we talk about the belief triangle. I don't know if you guys have heard of the belief triangle, but you've got belief, and you've got action, and you've got results. Okay. Well, anywhere you start on that triangle doesn't matter. It's kind of like a circle, but you want the 3 points. If you believe in what you're doing, you will do the action. And when you do the action, you'll get the results. And when you get the results, it'll feed your belief.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is where I think the fake it till you make it comes from, because sometimes you have to jump into the action part, and there's a part of you that doesn't believe it, like Elon Musk was saying. You don't necessarily, you're not completely convinced, but you just say, you know what, I'm just going to keep moving forward with the action. What do I need to do? The results will come. Don't worry about the results. You work on the actions. The results will come. When the results come, then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I believe in what I'm doing. Yeah. So it's this triangle that you, then when you believe in it, guess what? You're going to do twice as much action. Right. And then when you do twice as much action, you get twice as much results. And so it just kind of builds and builds and builds. And I think that's huge for your mindset, for you to focus. And if you're low on belief, either go back and look at the results you've had before to build yourself up, or just blindly do the actions. You know what you need to action.
Do. Yeah, I did that yesterday. I had 2 donations yesterday.
Well, Deb, let's let you get a chance to answer on this. Do you believe there's that failure is a thing?
Do I believe failures are a thing? Yeah, no, not anymore. Not anymore. I even have more patience. I went to it was called Father, Son. Wait. There's more to that. It was a while ago, but I went and watched a podcast, and that's how I got the I can, I will, I must, and I've been saying that every day. And ever since, I got a little distracted and sad because, my, thing, Rome wasn't built in a day, but I got, a little sidetracked saying, okay, why isn't anything happening? This is the first time I've done this, but this is my passion. I love MMA. And now I can do it every day, and I'm like, woo, I'm like freaking out here. But yesterday was a good day because I had 2 donations.
Well, we're going to keep working on this, and hopefully we can get you some more donations.
Yeah.
Ladies, we've only got a few more minutes here, and again, thank you all so much. This is once again, this just came together so beautifully. Deb, do you have any events that are coming up, or are you going to?
No, I haven't thought about anything. The only thing that I was thinking about that I was trying to get together is a raffle for like a pair of gloves or something for the MMA community, and try to write something on Facebook and have them, tag 2 people or something. I don't know. I haven't really put anything together like that. Like I said, I just started not too long ago. I've been doing this by myself.
Well, you know what? That's one of the reasons why we love doing this show, is because that's who we are aimed for. The last thing in the world any of us want to hear as a human being is, God, I wish I would have known about you before happened. Well,
yeah.
We can try to eliminate that by all coming together, and like Renee has been promoting, we can help you find your voice. We can help be another voice for you. So,
well, thank you. Yeah, I've been trying everything humanly possible to get myself out there. I even had an interview with a news lady to go on TV.
Awesome. Good for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll continue to work together, Deb, and hopefully we can, you're already heading for success. Hopefully we can do that.
No problem.
To just to help you get there.
Well, thank you. I appreciate everything you do. All of you.
Hey, and again, thank you for joining us tonight. Renee, do you have
you.
anything coming up?
Well, I have my coaching program that I'm really trying to get out there to the right community. So if you know anybody is really ready to step into that power of finding their voice and releasing those limiting beliefs, and I am really, really looking forward to connecting with them and seeing if there's that synergy to work together. So I would like to do that more and get my voice out there to serve and support the women that I am called to serve and support. I also have my book out there, and I'd love to get that into more hands because I know it's serving a greater good. It's a very short, powerful read, and it's got the exercises that I showed you earlier to be able to help them through what they're going through. And I'd like to see how many hands I can get that into because it's serving a greater good. On my link tree, I have a complimentary 10 steps to find your voice download on there. My social media links are there too. My Facebook community group is in there too. So I just really wanted to connect with the right people who are ready, whether it's the speaking engagement, whether it's the one-on-one, just ready to step into that because I've been doing that on a smaller scale, but it's to help even more on a larger scale.
Well, again, I look forward to hopefully doing a one-on-one with you very soon to see how we can help you along the way and help you continue to grow your voice because, the message is beautiful and the message is much needed. So once again, thank you for the short notice on coming on and joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you. Grateful to be here.
Hey, you guys are all welcome back whenever you would like. LaToya, what do you have coming up?
Well, excuse me. Sorry. my Facebook group. We're actually doing the 5-day challenge right now as we speak. So 5 days to releasing some ish that you have lodged in your nervous system or your energy body. But I also do a monthly tapping session. So we just did April 19th. The next one is going to be May 17th. And so it's free. Anybody, females who just really, they want to be in the constant healthiness of releasing ish, right? So releasing baggage, releasing stuff that deals with their conviction, their confidence, their consistency, their self-compassion. So they want to release stuff that blocks that so that they can really truly feel in their power. They can join my Facebook group, and the link is also on my website, right, latoyazavala.com. Thank you for putting that up there. We do the free tapping sessions monthly. I also do tapping when I'm doing the 5-day challenge, or I'm doing a complete energy body clearing. I will also include the tapping. So if I'm looking for people who really want to try something, if they've not done tapping before, if they've not done energy clearing before, and they want to see, like, they want to try it out for themselves.
What is that?
What's tapping?
Yeah, what is that anyway? I never heard of it.
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked. I don't know exactly what I have a minute, but
It's
in a
fantastic.
nutshell,
It's great.
It's great. It's called excuse me. The real name for it is emotional freedom technique, right? And we say tapping, but it's using your fingers, and it's tapping certain parts of your body, some of the same points that we use in acupuncture, to help your energy body, your nervous system, and your subconscious release negative thoughts, negative beliefs, and limiting beliefs from your body and from your subconscious and from your nervous system. So we bring forward whatever is blocking or limiting, and then we clear it. And that's what EFT does. So really,
that sounds cool.
It's fantastic. I'm telling you, my clients, they get immediate release. Some people get immediate release. So it depends on what we're working on. But and you can take a sequence with you. So once you do it with me, right? And if we do some personal sessions, you can take some personalized sequences with you so that you can do it whenever you're feeling. It works for addictions. It works for anxiety. It works for
my daughter needs it too.
It works for all kinds of things. It works for all kinds of things. So anyway, we do free sessions in the Facebook group. Thanks, Zach, for that moment. But she asked, so I really had to answer.
Sorry, I didn't mean to disrupt.
Absolutely not. That's what this is all about. We want to make sure. There's your dog again. I miss my Brody now. But that's absolutely everything that we want to do. Is we want to make sure that people.
That's a cat.
Yeah, I saw the cat too.
You saw my cat? That's Mama. That's what I call her, Mama.
But yeah, we just want to make sure that everybody has the options that are out there, because again, hearing the words that, God, I wish I would have known about you before this happened. Yeah. If we could curtail that in any way, that would be great. And like I said, again, you are all so wonderful. I cannot thank you enough. Carolyn, other than our wonderful program in which you've been busy during the show, you have created our links. So our link is here now. So anytime that you make a purchase through through May, remember up to 30% is going to go towards a cause that you choose, not we choose, you choose. And this is everything from families with emergency needs to kids trying to raise money for school or church programs, startup businesses and organizations like Deb's MMA Closet. We want to make sure that they keep doing this. Established 501c3s of the smaller to medium size. And of course, our heroes, both country and community, animal rescues and stuff like that we like to support. Basically what we say is, if you're doing good in the community, we want to promote your good. If you're doing good for all, we see enough bad stuff. I'm tired of hearing, well, I don't even watch the news, it's all depressing. Well, let's change it. We can get together, we can do stuff like this, and we're proving that on this show right here. We can get together and make good things happen.
Definitely.
And that's not because of this show. It's because you guys have got together. You guys came in with amazing stories, and you guys fit this show together perfectly. You know, you guys were the puzzle pieces that brought this show in and made it what it was today, which was fantastic. So, but other than our wonderful program, Caroline, sorry, again, what else do you have going on?
Yeah. So what I would add would be when you purchase a product through me, one of the advantages is that you get my ability to help you, right? So if you get that air fryer or you get that knife and you really aren't that great in the kitchen and you're trying to learn how to do more, or you want some recipes, I have those resources. And so I will check in with you when you place the order. You'll have my contact information. And that means you can always reach out to me and say, hey, I've got chicken in the cabinet and I have this. What can I do? And I can help you think through it. Or I'm tired of the same 7 meals I eat every single week. I need some inspiration. And so we could talk, or I could shoot you an email, or I'm more than just the store. You know, I'm full service, and I want to help you learn to cook. I want to help you get better at cooking. I want to help you cook fast, whatever. And I do have a Facebook group and stuff that once we connect, I can send you the information, and I go live on there. Went with the pineapple wedger and stuff like that. Just kind of little tips and tricks along the way, but just look at all kinds of things. Yeah, there it is. It's kind of funky because I set it up before, and now everybody uses it, and I can't change it to put my name in.
It would be nice if Facebook made the groups a little bit easier and they weren't just a number, but it is what it is. So, but we're going to try to put out all the links on our website as soon as this show is over. It'll be up there in the next day or two. So you'll be able to find the links to all these wonderful, wonderful, lovely ladies, and you're going to be able to get a hold of them. Once again, ladies, I would like to thank you guys very much. I invite you to stick around for the next 30 minutes if you'd like, and join us. We're going to be going to Wisconsin here in a little bit, but I'm going to finish out my portion of this show real quick after I say thank you so very much for everything that you guys did in making this show wonderful. So
thank you
so much.
Thank you
so much. I look forward to continuing the conversation. Take care.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody.
have a good one.
Again, fantastic. And that was just amazing because these lovely ladies, you know, 2 of them didn't even know that they were going to be on with us until minutes ago. So you know, we are going to be going to MKE now here in just a few minutes, but I do want to do this. Look, folks, nobody has to go it alone when we all come together. I say it every show, and it's because I truly mean it. If you have clothing out there that no longer fits you, put it in your car. Give it to somebody who's struggling with cold. It doesn't matter race, religion, whatever. None of that matters. Cold kills. Hunger kills. Let's make sure that we're not wasting, we're sharing. If we share with people, we're saving lives. And the smallest little thing, the smallest little concept of good can do a lot of great things. So please make sure that you do that. I've got one more commercial that we're going to run, and then I will be back to close this out after MKE now. Hopefully this week I won't screw it up. Not that I ever screw anything up, except for anything I try to do usually, but let's hope that I don't do it this time. So this is a great commercial about, you hear me talking about him all the time. This is for my brother, John Wayne Vogels of Martyred Angels. And then once again, we're going to be going to MKE now. So enjoy this, and we'll see you in about 30 minutes.
actually a milestone. Let's see here. How do I? Well, I'll just get to the point here. I would like to wish my hubby a wonderful happy anniversary. It is our 26th wedding anniversary today, and we are spending it here with you guys and loving every minute. So, Kurt, happy anniversary, hon.
Happy anniversary. And 5.5 years of that has been, well, it's 5 3/4 almost here with River West Radio and Ability MK Now. Again, Ability MK Now is here to be disability advocacy radio at its finest. And so we are talking about the Milwaukee metropolitan area and all the aspects of life, whether it's faith life, service life, lifelong learning, our government agency work. Thank you everybody for doing that. And then our businesses and our workforce. And then all the fun things we do in life, like doing community radio. Hurrah. And we say, hey, let's get our Milwaukeeans with disabilities involved. Back to you, Sue.
Awesome. Thanks, Kurt. And I actually thought tonight would be a fun night to be talking about favorites. I know we all have favorite stories. We have favorite memories, favorite things we've done. And I think it'll be pretty easy to have it be ability related somehow here with you guys. So I'm wondering if I can tap into each of you, and I got to introduce who's all here. But I'm wondering if I can tap into each of you as to what is a favorite of yours. And it could be a memory. It could be a thing you do. It could be an ongoing. That's up to you. So I'm going to be passing the mic around here to share with everybody a few minutes of sharing favorites. So I'll give you guys a moment to think about it, and I'll give you. I'll start out. I'll start out with one of my favorites. So we've been doing adaptive water skiing. I mean, we talk about this a lot. We are water skiers, and we've been doing adaptive water skiing for a very long time, and even more so in the last handful of years here. Actually, not too much longer than when we've been on with River West Radio here. We started doing adaptive skiing at a whole nother level with more opportunities, more intensity, more everything, just a handful of years ago. And I would say one of my favorite things is that feeling and that experience when we have somebody for the very first time ever having the chance to actually be the one in the sit ski and enjoying that, the feeling, the freedom, the adrenaline rush, the splashing water in the face, all of that, all the sound of the motorboat, all the things, all the people on shore clapping and cheering, to be in that moment for the first time when somebody gets to experience that. For me, that's a favorite. That and it, lucky for me, it gets to happen over and over, because pretty often we were lucky enough to have that opportunity to have new folks joining us and getting to experience that. And I specifically remember somewhere we actually have a picture from probably 6 or 7 years ago, where there's a young man, I believe he was a teenager, and we have this picture. It was actually Kurt and I side skiing for this one, and this guy has both arms straight up in the air, both hands and fists, and eyes closed, just like, I did it. That look of, oh my gosh, I'm out here, I'm living it, I'm doing it. And that's one of my favorite pictures, because it says so much in that moment of that, what that experience was, and that I get to actually ski next to people when they get to experience that for the first time. That is my favorite that I'm going to share tonight. So actually, Kurt, do you want me to pop it over to you? Do you want to share? Do you want to start with a favorite, or should you be our finale at the end in sharing favorites? I'll leave the choice up to you.
So again, the favorites are just moments in
anything ability related, anything you've done, whether it's a memory or some experience you've had, or somebody you've met, or anything that's within our Ability MKE Now. And I'm seeing one of our friends here pointing to himself as being yes, Zach, you are always going to be one of my favorites. So Kurt, what do you want to do yours now, or would you like to be the caboose in the crew here and share at the end?
Well, I'm going to point out with the Lindsay Legis Free Water Skiing Club down in Burlington at Fisher Park. We had one of our days where one of our lively participants is musically inclined and had a lot of, folk song and stuff like that. And he did quite a performance. We kind of took a break from the water skiing and we let him perform, and he really got us all going shoreside, so dry land talent show. And so that was a lot of fun, that we're out there to water ski, and to have something that was not water ski related kind of adds so much to the event. And to see the talent of one of our participants, and he had a lot of fun skiing, but boy, he might have had more fun singing. I don't know. It was tough to tell.
Yeah, I do remember that day. He actually got to go multiple times on the water that day, and he would have kept skiing all day if he could, because it was such a fun day. And yet the talent that boy had was phenomenal. Everybody kept saying, like, you belong on stage. You are amazing. And we had the treat of that day. That was a lot of fun. Thanks for sharing that. Let's see, who would like to go next in our crew? I got to introduce who's all here. Anyone wave a hand at me here? Who would like to be next? Zach Clayton is a great friend of our show, and I am so happy you're here with us. I am curious if you would like to enlighten me on what is a memory, a favorite, what thing is a favorite of yours that would share with Ability MKE now? Oh, your sound is a little funny there. So can you say that again? That's better. We love to hear you.
Yeah, no, but nobody's shocked, Jack.
Actually, it's kind of coming in and out a little bit there. Yeah, I'm sorry. Something's happening there with your mic. I'm not sure what's happening. I'm so sorry, Zach. So I don't know if you can figure anything out on your end. We'll be glad to have you coming back in here. I'm wondering, while you're working on that, if Aaron was a wonderful new guest of ours just a couple weeks ago, and we're lucky enough to have him joining us back here again. So Aaron, if you want to just remind everybody who you are and share what is a favorite memory or favorite, I keep saying memory because that's what I used. What's a favorite that you'd like to share with us?
So a little bit of background about myself is my name is Aaron, and I've been a corporate trainer, also a tax coach for past many, many years. So I'm focusing on refining speeches. Now, related to favorites, now this is a bit like sad for me, but might be happy for you guys. I love discovering stories. So my favorite thing is to really act like an innocent child and try to dig out the stories in the quickest possible moments. So what I did is, just through a conversation, I try to shorten it within 5 to 10 seconds to really know through how they use their words and get to know their past and present. That is a special trait of mine that I've been training for 15 years of speech. And it kind of spooked people. But to me, I'm just really curious about their stories. So it has been a favorite thing, is like, my friend will be always asking, are you doing that story digging methodology again? And I just love to really know about their stories, about their current situation, because sometimes we might be busy in our lives and we have limited times or lifespan. We want to spend the quickest moment to really know about what happened related to them in the past few days, few weeks or months. And through a couple of words, I can tell how they are feeling. Sometimes they may be feeling lost or stressed out. And that's where I can really help that person. So I think this is my favorite thing. I love doing it with my friends, unknowingly, just seriously. But then I just love that perspective.
I love that. Sorry, I may actually pop back to in a little bit here if you have a specific story that struck you in a meaningful way. If you want to share that, but while you're thinking about that, I'm wondering if we can pop over and get back to another one of our favorites. I almost want to call her co-host at this point. Diva has had a lot of wonderful experiences here that she has shared. Denise Vargas, I would love to bring you on, Mike, if you want to share something in your world that is a favorite.
Wow, wow. Well, first of all, happy anniversary to two of my favorite people here. And that is actually one of my favorites is that I got to meet you guys and we have such a great friendship. Or as I like to say, family, friends who are actually family. And oh my gosh, this is such a great question because I have tons of favorites. And because this is about ability, I'm actually going to pick my absolute probably favorite based on that is when I was trying to get my hand controls for 10 years. Every year I would go to the government agency and I would ask them for this very expensive piece of equipment and they would say no. And they would continue that. And I would continue every year for 9 years. I would ask the same question. Finally, year 10 comes around. I ask the same question, thinking, I'm going to get the same no. I'm going to get ready for my next ask next year. And wouldn't you know it, the woman, it was a new woman at the time, finally, and she's like, oh, wow, that is so exciting. Yeah, let's try it. And then that just changed my world. I was like now I am going for a ride. And I got my license, I got my equipment, got my car. It was just phenomenal. So I think that's my favorite memory is do not take no for an answer. Even if it takes you 10 years, just keep at it, right? Make those dreams happen.
Persistency counts. Sometimes it takes people get frustrated, right? Taking that much time and that much effort to get something to happen that should not be that difficult because it's a needed thing. But you know what? Since you went through that whole experience, there's a reason that all happened. You had the experience, you made the goal in the end. It happened, and now looking back on it, it has become a favorite. So there's a reason for everything. I have to believe. And I'm so glad that it did work out for you in that. And Emily is with us tonight. Emily Golmer, she is part of our crew here, and I want to pass the baton over to you, my dear, to see what thought you have. What would you like to share as far as a favorite?
You guys, especially, but outside of that, probably the Happy Neighborhood Project, and that Edwin to approve HNP nonprofit.
Very cool. Yeah, this is an amazing.
Which was initially my idea. So
awesome. Yeah, within this group, actually, everybody that's on with us this evening as a guest on our show here, we all connected through the Happy Neighborhood Project. So that in itself is, to me, speaks volumes to have the chance to learn about so many people from across the world, across the country and across the world, and what we all have in common along the way. It really is a small world. It's very cliche, right? But truly, it's such a small world. So And actually, and Aaron, I'd love to bring you back in. I know you were mentioning about a particular story. If you'd like to go ahead and share that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I apologize. I didn't mention about that story. I was lost in throws. So that story related is a moment back in time where I left home. Yeah, I was a naughty kid. Yes, I left home. And literally that time I was stranded. I was simply just lost in trouble because I lost someone that's very important to me. At that time, I simply just feel I need help. Or maybe like I might survive in the woods. Maybe the wolves are pouring in somehow. But I did something that I have done when I was very young. I still stick with knocking on the doors. But if you have a stranger that knocks onto your door, yeah, 80%, please be careful, but 20%, maybe there's a stranger needed help. So I just knock onto the doors of different people and do have a chat, maybe asking a bottle of water, having a nice little conversation. And you never know, the world is very warm for you to reach out that. And it becomes a favor that I have been doing to not to random strangers, but the thing is that I turned that whole feel from knocking onto the doors when I was needing help to someone who is trying to make a difference by having random casual chats in a coffee bar, like just really getting to know them. And you never know, you make new friends, new bonds, and you discover the bits and fragments of the stories and you turn it into empowerment to help them back. And it kind of makes me feel that all the things that I've been through, the knocking on the doors, getting to know random people, maybe you have a very nice little old granny that gives you a lollipop to cheer you up. Yes, that happens before. That is simply phenomenal about how much a story or conversation or even a word can make that difference. So thank you, Sue, for giving me the opportunity to share that one. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing. I just want to kick it back around here. Did anybody else have any thoughts that came to them along the way with what anybody had shared? So awesome. Otherwise, I can share one more favorite memory that that Emily actually reminded me of here. We have one of the big connections we have in what we do with adaptive skiing and kind of a toe in the door along the way with insights is a good friend of ours that has been on the show in the past. Chad Murphy Price has played a pretty key role in me really having the best introduction I've had to somebody who lives full time using a wheelchair. I haven't had that experience, so I don't know what it's like. And he's been an amazing friend for wow. Let's see, our daughter is 13, and we've known him for quite a while before that. I'm trying to think how long it is that we've known him. We go way back. We have a whole lot of stories, and I'm going to give you two stories with him. One is I'm going to come back to the water skiing piece. When we first went up to the state tournament, actually both the state tournament and also at the national water skiing tournament, we had permission to do some demos at these events to expose those that are at these tournaments and ski in the tournaments. Their passion in life is water skiing, and if they can share that passion with those that have not gotten to do this, that don't even know the sit ski is an option, that it exists. Kurt actually is the one that was able to spur this to happen, to introduce folks to a sit ski. So Chad is the one that got to actually be in the sit ski and that first run up at the state tournament, and also the first time we did it at the national tournament. So to have a good friend like that, to be out there participating like that and leading the way is a favorite for me. It was such a high for him. It was a high for all of us. Total highlight in our history there. And with that, he actually had one more thing that he got to do, that, speaking of a high, he had the chance to be on a flyboard. So if you're not familiar with a flyboard, it's something where somebody actually stands on this unit that has water propelled through it using a jet ski. So the propulsion of that jet ski is what powers water up through a hose and through this contraption that's on your feet that basically the water shoots out from under your feet while you're on the water and lets you go rising up into the air. So you get above the water through the water power. Okay, now I mentioned that Chad is a full-time wheelchair user. So standing on this thing is not exactly going to happen for him. That's not that's not appropriate. That's not going to work. We were lucky enough to have a friend with the Tommy Bartlett's water ski show out in Wisconsin Dells. So Jeremy Armstrong at the time was the show director there for the water skiing. And little did we know when we first met him how passionate he also is about adaptive water skiing. He brought his equipment and came all the way from the Dells out here to Pewaukee. And there's actually a news segment. Kurt, you'd have to remind me which channel it was that came out and covered this. But they have it's on the news. Whether you're local, wherever, you can look this up and find. If you search for Chad Murphy Price flyboard, he actually was able to be Velcro strapped on, like piggyback style, on Jeremy's back, and they successfully went up for this experience on the flyboard with Chad up high with Jeremy like this. Something I never would have thought of. I never could have imagined. And so many people, if you see that segment, you'll experience how the friends that were there on shore, everybody was beyond excited when that experience took place, because, talk about being outside the box. This was a total crazy idea that happened. So again, that falls back into being a favorite. So, and I would just want to ask, has anybody else had any other favorites that have come to mind along the way as we're talking? Zach? Oh. And that reminds me, Chad has actually mentioned that more than once over the years about what it would be to ride in like a sidecar with a motorcycle. That's been on his bucket list, and I'm not aware of him accomplishing that. I think he would have made a big deal of that. So maybe you and I can put our brains together a little. That would awesome. And Aaron, I want to bring you back in too. Aaron?
And when you were saying about the favorite one, I just thought about another one, which is kind of funny. Now, I love cooking because cooking actually speaks to art. So if your husband, sorry, between you two. So if there's one day that he's going to cook for you, and you realize that when he cooks and flip the egg is chocolate, how would you feel? Now, this is related to a real story of mine that I was trying to learn to make my most favorite item in the world of food, sushi. So I spent my time to really try to perfect that craft. And we are doing it and trying to make sushi for a group of people in the old folks home. Now, I make the worst possible sushi ever in the history of mankind. It's torn apart. It was really ripped out. But then I put all my heart just to make that sushi. To me, it's cute, but I know it's really awful. I care about the taste, just like the MasterChef TV series. I care about the taste. I don't care about how it looks. So I just focus on that feeling part. I devote all my, and there was this very cute little granny. I don't know why I love grannies and grandpas. And she was looking at my dish. She looked at me. I looked at her carefully. If you don't like it, don't eat it. So she took a bite of it and she liked it. She feel the warmth. Although after which the wasabi sauce actually get into her and she cried. So we have the crying teary ears. And I really do apologize for that. But it's just that when the moment that someone appreciate you for every single tiny things, even if it's not perfect, that could make a difference to drive you on to do something different. So that sushi itself is kind of my most fond memories, although it might be funny when I share it. But the thing is, when I recount about it, and the smile on her face when she bite the first 15 seconds before she cried is priceless. Yeah, I think that is, for that, pass it back to you.
Awesome. I love that. And that's something we can all take to heart. What we're talking about these awesome, for the most part, memories here of favorites. So I'm going to challenge all of you guys to find a chance sometime today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. I don't know when it'll be, but I look forward to hearing more opportunities of when you got to be part of somebody else's favorite. What is it that, how can you reach out and touch somebody else's life and to create a favorite moment that everybody can look back on and realize the power of what that moment was. I know even just last week, my daughter got to do the adaptive sports and rec at her school. And that sounds like it really turned into a favorite amongst her classmates, and that it was such an awesome experience. So let's take that in here, especially as today's a favorite of mine, being our anniversary. So I'm going to say it one more time. Happy anniversary, Kurt. I love that we do this. I love all the fun stuff that we get to do together, all the adventures, all the things that we get to do. I am going to just stand by my challenge to all of us here, myself included, to create new favorites and to look for those opportunities. So for us here at Ability, thanks. Thank you so much. And at Ability MKE Now, we thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us. My name is Zach Clayton, and you've been watching MKE Now out of Wisconsin. We want to thank our guests one more time. I cannot believe that show went as well as it did, and there was so much possibility of bad things. So I want to thank Renee Reich. I hope I said her name correctly. I want to thank Debbie from Deb's MMA Closet. I want to thank Latoya Zavali, and I definitely want to thank our brand new partner, Caroline from Pampered Chef. Please remember to use this code. Let me find it one more time here. Oh, I guess if I looked in the right place, I could probably find it. But remember that every time that you use this code and make a purchase, you're going to be helping some people out, and up to 30% can come back for the month of May. So please, let's make sure that we do this right. Hey, everybody, my name is Zach Clayton. I am the president and founder of Community Pay It Forward, Dare to Care. And please remember, we are trying to do some fantastic stuff with the help of Emily Gomer and Sarah Goodell. geez, I'm just going to make up names from now on. I'm not even going to ask people's names anymore. I'm just going to make them up. But Sarah Goodell, we're going to be doing some great things with the pACT channel, and we invite you to join us. Please remember to love somebody out there, because somebody out here loves you. Make sure that you take care of somebody. Remember, nobody has to go it alone. When we all come together, if you've got clothing that don't fit, put it in your car. Find somebody, it'll help. If you got food that you're not going to eat, put it in an old butter bowl, zap it in the microwave, take it to somebody struggling with. Please know, nobody has to go it alone, and money's not everything. Thank you very much. We'll join you next week on a pre-recorded show. We are going to do a CPR class for our fostering venture that my fiance and I, Adrian, are going through. We're going to go and do a CPR class next Wednesday. So I cannot be here live. So we're going to pre-record a show and play it at that time. So, but once again, my name is Zach Clayton. Thank you very much for joining us. Take it away, Theron.
Stepping out of her fear, bring me home. Out alone, show me the way. You wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.